Hey guys, welcome back in. Continue some Permadeath here. Now I did manage to find all the hotspots I'm going to need for this Stasis Farm. Um, yeah, I looked around for, about 4 hours last night to find this spot. They're not ideal hotspot locations, but I can make it work. Yeah, load in here so you guys can see. Alright, so that's my electric way over there. So I gotta stretch all that distance. And my radon, which isn't bad. Oxygen's far away as well. And that's gonna be dioxide there. So I'll have to stretch for that one as well. Then cobalt over there. So I'm gonna have to stretch pretty much everything, which is what I was trying to avoid, but I managed to locate them all. This will be the last base I build, so I'm going to get the other two out of the way. That way I can make money on those while I wait to build this one. There are a few things. Okay, I did put a base computer down, so I can get back here. Let me just make sure it's actually not just claimed. Alright. Yeah, because when I start building this base specifically, I don't want to leave this system because it can mess up your hotspots if you stretch them. You can lose access to it. Then you have to re-stretch your boundary. So I want to make sure I don't leave this planet once I start. I am going to get the other two bases out of the way first, though. That way I can make money on those bases while I'm building this one. So gonna get a few things out of the way first. I need to... Actually, I'm gonna take care of my frigates first off, and then I need to buy a bunch of metal plating. That way I'm not burning through all my ferrite dust. So I'm gonna need... I haven't done a number yet, but I think I'll be okay with around 500, 600 metal plating. I know I have some already, but I do want to hit up a couple of space stations and see if I can get an abundance of that. And I also want to go pick up more magnetized ferrite, because I'm going to need that for some of the stuff. I can't remember what. But I know I'm going to need a bunch of pure ferrite as well. So if I pick up the magnetized, I can always break it down. Oh, and I need to get frigate fuel too. Alright, let's see here. I might have to hold off on sending out frigates. I'm gonna have to go farm up a bunch of fuel because I don't want to build it. Oh, something came back broken. I don't like that one yet, already. I'll just pick up this stuff next time. I don't really need it for anything. I already get a stack of that. I think a lot of the stuff I already have full stacks of. That I don't, though. just gonna sell off all this stuff. I just like to keep a lot of extra stuff. I might not need, but yeah, don't need that either. Alright, go sell on some of this. What about that dihydrogen that's in here? I don't know why that's in here. Alright, I'll make up a couple more of these. That way it empties that spot out. Sell off this. And I'm gonna also buy as much of that as I can. I know I have some metal plating somewhere else. Alright, it's over here. Alright, so I'm just gonna warp over. Just hit a couple space stations here. Luckily most of my space stations are tier 3, so they should have, you know, 100 or so in their trade terminal. See, I like to kind of plan ahead for this stuff a little bit. I think when I go to get my magnetized ferrite, I think I will stop by my main base and just burn off a couple thousand more, because I need a lot of pure ferrite for the, you know, all the base itself. So I think the biodomes, I think, take, alright, there we go, 173 of them, so it's a good chunk right there. Yeah, because if I look right here, biodomes, okay, those will take magnetized. These take pure. What about these? Yeah, these take pure ferrite as well. So I'm gonna need a good amount of pure ferrite. And also my technology. Wait. Alright, yeah, I'm gonna need 5 metal plating for all of those. Okay, and they both take the same amount. Metal plating on those, but your supply pipes you also need. So, you know, I always forget about supply pipes. Those cost and stuff to make, and magnetized ferrite also for the EMGs. So try to keep a pretty good amount of everything I think I'm gonna need. I'll hit up like maybe 3 different trading systems should work. Or space stations. I think I'm gonna need somewhere in the ballpark of 500, so I like to keep a little extra on hand. Because you can use metal plating on so many different things, so. Alright, now that one's only got 138, but better than nothing. Oh, another thing I want to look at: building parts, technology. Where is it? All right, I want to grab some nanotubes. Don't worry about that. Dihydrogen. Alright. I have a bunch of dihydrogen already. Somewhere. Oh, I can't see it in here. But I should take a look for... I will check the thing over here too. I'd rather buy what I need as opposed to craft it. Because I'm also going to need to use up a bunch of carbon when I go to stretch my boundaries as well, so... I'd rather use, okay, tritium, there we go. I'm going to need this to make some more fuel. Alright, nothing there. Actually, I'll move that tritium right over. One more station. I was just hoping to hit one of these guys up for some stuff here. If they have nanotubes, I don't even know if they do anymore. Oh, I can get metal plating from him too. Alright. So I think I'm gonna have plenty of metal plating now. That's the bad thing about small stack sizes. You can, it doesn't take long to fill up your inventory. I think I'm just gonna go grab my ferrite dust, or magnetized ferrite. Back to my old base, start breaking that down. So I already have a pretty good amount in my my storage container, so I probably won't need to break down too much of it. I'll probably just break down like 1,000. Because my biodomes are going to take up a good amount of it. So, I think it's what, 25 for each. We're going to do 29 biodomes, so it'll add up. I'm sure I'll have to run out at some point and go get more. But at least now it'll be filling up. I do want to check in here. Actually, go in here. Some of this stuff around. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna keep like 200 metal plating. I think that'll be enough, and the rest I'll just put in my inventory. Because I'm going to add, each base I'm going to have 9 silos Actually, I'm probably putting a good amount of this right down here. 9 silos plus all my extractors. So I'll end up going through this stuff pretty quick. Yeah, I can keep most of this right in here. I was just going to take 200, but this will save me from moving stuff back and forth. Yeah, I'll still stick a little bit in the storage container though, whatever's left over. Alright. Stick the rest right in here. Oh yeah, and I want to move over my glass as well. How many of those? 50? Alright, good. 50 in a stack. That way I'll have all my glass on me too. That way the only thing that's going to be in my my ship is going to be my plants. Get rid of this meat. I'm not sure why I'm actually keeping that meat, but I figured it'd be worth it. Guess I need to make a recipe. Yeah, just trying to make a little bit of room here. Yeah, I got a bunch of salvage data just running around looking for those hot spots. Yeah, it was like a good, what, 3.5, 4 hours to find that hotspot last night. I kept, you know, I would get three hotspots that were perfect, and then I'd find nothing but copper. It was just soul crushing after a while. The whole stack. Alright, so I think that'll be enough to get me started there. I want to break. I'll keep 4 stacks in here. Then I'll do the rest as magnetized ferrite, or as pure ferrite rather. So I want to break that down. That one down. Alright, so I'm just going to set these going, and I'm going to run the other room and do something. Actually, let me look up a quick recipe here. I think there's a way to, something else I can mix with this stuff to make more. I meant to check it earlier. Let's see here. Oh, no, there isn't. You can do 2 ferrite dust and 1 pugnium. Will give you 3 pure ferrite. For some reason I thought there was something else you could mix with it. There's a lot more to make magnetized ferrite than pure ferrite. So you just got ferrite dust, magnetized ferrite. You just have magnetized ferrite, ferrite dust, and ferrite dust and pugnium. I didn't even know about the pugnium one though. Something, always learning something new. So, all right. Let's see. Where was I? Let's see. I'm gonna break down these. I gotta call somebody at the same time, so I'm gonna try to keep an eye on this while chatting with them for a few minutes, so hopefully this going. Alright, so I'm going to be muted for a few minutes. Sorry about that. And to look up something for somebody. I want to see if I can buy some dihydrogen jelly. I also need carbon nanotubes. Nobody's gonna have jelly now. I'm just trying to avoid getting a bunch of dihydrogen for, there we go. 144 of them. Yeah, just buy them. Oh, did he have tritium? No tritium, alright. Never know where these pilots are going to end up. Alright. Can't I break down? There's something I can break. Oh, the hyperclusters I can break down. Alright. Yeah, I'll run off some of this dihydrogen jelly. That way I can make up a little bit of fuel. Run over here real quick. Yeah, I have to go try to find a large amount of tritium. So, well, typically what I do is go to a pirate system and just shoot all the frigates. Get a bunch of fuel that way, but it gets kind of annoying. Sometimes you fly out and you get like only one stack of it, or not even a stack. You get, you know, one 200 count thing of it. Then other times you fly out and you get 4 or 5. So I just haven't found a really good system for it yet. But I do want to break these down. I don't know how many I can do at a time. I don't know if this is one of those that I have to babysit. Oh, I think I can only do like 5 at a time. So how expensive is that stuff? Probably can't make up very much anyway, so. Yeah, I don't have much tritium. Alright, so. I'm just gonna cancel these for now. Well. Let it run. At least I'll have plenty of that. For now. At least I'll have dihydrogen jelly for a little while. Alright, I needed some of it for my some of my other stuff anyway, so. Alright. So I'll stick those down there. Yeah, I need to get a whole lot of tritium, and I moved over some more ferrite dust. I figured it can always be useful. I'll just stick this in here too. Alright. There's one thing I want to do. I want to steal some plants out of my other ship. So the first thing I'm going to work on, I'm going to get circuit boards out of the way. So I have to take out some frost crystal from my ship. Which I've actually got these backwards for some reason. This row down here, these ones I want to take out. At 1600 I actually need for living glass. Wait a minute here. That doesn't make sense. Okay, yeah, I've got that backwards. I was going to say that's too much glass. Okay, so 1600 is going to be used for circuit boards. So I want to take out these ones. And actually, I think I can put that, yeah, directly into storage container. Let me make sure this is going in here. I have a feeling it's going into my other storage. It's going into my other storage container. See, you can't control where this stuff goes sometimes. It's annoying. Alright, so 1,000, 2,000. So 6. Wait, frost crystal 3,200. What am I doing? 3,000. 3,200. I was looking at my overall number that I needed. Got those. I reach my ship. Okay. Dioxide. Sometimes you're better off just dragging and dropping it. That way you can double check your accounts. 1, 2, 3,200 and 1,600. I'm just going to toss that right in here. That way I can't possibly overplant. Hopefully. And figure out what the heck I'm doing. That row is fine. Yeah, everything else I don't have to worry about having the other stuff in there. It's just the frost crystal that can be a pain. If I go to my totals, just check my totals real quickly here. My frost worth, I'm able to plant 32, which is exactly what I want. Selenium, or solar vine, 64, which is what I want. Cactus, 16. Yep. And Starbulb, 128. So I should be all set with all my plants. I am going to switch my ship back though. And then I'll call in that ship when I'm over there. Actually, I should check this just to make sure. Launch thrusters. I will refill this, just so I know that it's definitely full. I shouldn't have any issues bringing it in. And you can do the same thing, like you can put all your plants in an exocraft and do it that way too. I just prefer to use my ship. That way I can just move it around if I have to. Do a save. And I'll go warp back to my freighter. That way it's already in the system. So I'm gonna jump out for a minute, just use the bathroom and grab a drink. And I think I'm gonna head down to my Blush planet and start building the first base. So give me like 5 minutes, I'll be right back. Alright, sorry about that. Take care of something else while I was out there. I just realized I never bought microprocessors. I'm gonna need these for my landing pads, so I'm just gonna grab like 15, I think will be enough. I just want to make sure all this stuff's actually on my character. Grab 4 more. Just make it a full stack. And while I'm here, I am gonna grab some Star Silk, because I never seem to have it when I need it. So stick this in here. Oh, I didn't realize I could buy 50. Yeah. Get to that later. Now I just want to make sure I have everything I think I'm gonna need. I can always bring in these containers anyway. I'll probably have to at some point anyway, so yeah. 2 chromatic metal, lucky me. Oh, this one only has 2 as well. I'm not sure how those things work. Sometimes they have stuff in them, sometimes they don't. Alright, save. I'm not going to bother with frigates. I'm going to start building some stuff. Now these are going to be very, very crude builds. The first 2 are just going to be very, very basic. Because all you're going to do is you'll warp into it, collect the stuff, and then take off. So, alright, so I want to start off with my lush planet. And you can do these in any order. It's just I know I want to put the circuit board factory on my lush planet, so that's where I'm gonna start if I can find it. Not that. Must be behind planet. Now it is a stormy lush planet, which I didn't really want to build on it, but it'll do the job. The hotspots are close to each other too. There's a few different ways you can do your biodomes. I choose to do it this way for a certain reason. Well, you know how sometimes people can put a bunch of plants in one biodome? I used to do it like that, but I started just doing individual biodomes because sometimes if you hit the trigger, sometimes it will miss a plant or two and screw everything up. And that actually takes a lot more setup work than what I'm used to. Alright, so I have no idea what power or what spot is what either. Alright. See if I can land somewhere. Actually, I'm just going to go right to the trading post. That way it's not going to say your ship is too close to build. I should just recharge all my stuff now so I won't have to bother with it for a few minutes anyway. Still trying to use up all that life support gel. Alright. I think this is electricity down here, maybe. Don't want to be my electric. Oh, I haven't even put down a base computer yet. So what I'm gonna have to do is scan all of these just so I have my distances. There should be my nitrogen over here. Yeah, I'd like to get like my not my silos, but my extractors in place kind of early. Alright, so yeah, like you can do this whole setup with just C-class hotspots. It doesn't have to be anything fancy because it takes you 16 hours to make these, so you know, you got plenty of time even with C-class hotspots. Because even your largest deposit, it's only going to take 8,000, 8,000 of that material to build everything. So as long as you're pulling out, at least 500, you're good. Then the other deposit only requires like 800, so it's not bad at all. Alright, this one was actually an S class. Alright, Paraffinium. What I try to do is, I'd rather not build like on the top of this, but I think I'm gonna kind of have to. What I try to do is get somewhat in the middle. That one's really close. My electric, so I don't have to stretch any boundaries if I go here. So I think I'm just going to build like off this cliff. That way there's a little bit of a view too. Yeah. Oh yeah, that was one thing I didn't like. It had a yellow sky. It's got a yellow sky and it's got brown water. But I got tired of looking around at systems. I'm like, I'm just going to use this planet. So, what I think I'll do, I like to kind of look at my surroundings a little bit. Like that, I got that puffer plant there. That will respawn constantly, so I don't really want to build over that way, so I'm just going to go towards the middle, pretty much where I am now. Because I'm going to have biodomes that go out this way and that way, so I want to kind of keep that in mind too when I go to build. So I'm just going to toss my computer here because I can move it later on if I have to. Alright. Well, at least I got that claimed now. Now, typically, when I start this, if I had to stretch out my boundaries to any of these, I would. And then I would put in my extractors. But because I don't have to really worry about doing it here, I'm just going to start getting my extractors ready. If I can find my paraffinium again. There it is. I'm going to do kind of the same thing I did before. I try to get the best value I can out of this. Even though I don't really have to. Oh, here we go with the storms. What I will do is I will kind of build a platform. Just something like this. Just so I can kind of get a decent number. Alright, so we're 99%, 98. It won't matter, really. I just like to try to get a decent number. I'll do this. I do this mainly just to line everything up. Just makes it easier for me. So now if I look at this thing, get a decent amount. Well, my hope I used the right thing. Wrong extractor. I've done that before. Alright, so 99%. So that'll take no time to fill up. Now with your minerals, paraffinium, phosphorus, and dioxide, you're only going to need 800 to do all the stasis devices. So I only do one extractor and one silo. That way it gives you a little bit left over. That's all you're going to need for this. Now the sulfurine, nitrogen, and radon, you need 8,000. So with those, what I always do, because I just like the round number, I do 7 silos and 4 extractors. Even though I don't really need the 4 extractors, I just do it so that it's a round number. If you wanted to, you could probably get by with a couple extractors. As long as you're pulling out at least 500, you're going to be fine. I just do 4 because it's easier in my brain to calculate it. But yeah, or you can always go with more too if you need, if you want to have more, nitrogen or whatever. Like, let's say you want 10,000, just add a couple more silos and you'll be fine. But I always just do the amount I need. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get rid of that now. Now I could leave that just floating in the air if I want, but I want to bring it down towards the ground a little bit so it's out of the way. I'll do that. You don't have to do this. This is just how I do it. You're gonna remember how to glitch build. This is just a little bit of glitch building stuff. Actually, I want that to actually be lower. What I'll do is build that down. This is just me stretching down, making another wire down here to do the same thing I did up there. So now I can move that extractor down and put it where I want it, and actually move this over a little too. Now if I glitch in that extractor, it'll just be lower. Yeah, something like that. And it flipped it around, but that's okay. I don't care about that. But what I will do is, on this one, I don't know. A lot of times, most of the time I'll take the wire out that I use for centering, but I'm just going to leave it there. In case something weird happens at this base, it gives me something to glitch on right away that is in a good location. Sometimes the game will do weird stuff where silos won't fill up. So I just leave it there as kind of like a little insurance thing. So that one is actually done. If there were multiple extractors, I would wire them up and put the pipe in at the same time. But because there's only one of them, I'll just leave it like it is. Now I'll go over and I'll do the same type of thing on my nitrogen. Way over there. Oh yeah, I got Protogak here. I saw them from the landing pad the other day. These guys. I haven't seen what the other one is. Normally there's 2 different variations. Get my way over to that. I'm gonna do the same type of thing over here. This one's a C class, so I want to be a little bit more, on it percentage-wise. So what I do is I try to get until I'm close to the maximum. I don't understand how these percentages work sometimes. Sometimes it seems like you're dead on, and then all of a sudden you're way off. It's almost like 1 pixel is the maximum. Alright, so right around here, what I'll do is I'll do the same deal. Set up like a little platform. But this one will require a little more work because I'm going to have 4 extractors. Alright, and I'm right at, 39% there, so right to the middle of my legs, put down a wire. And you don't have to do this, I just choose to do it this way. Alright, so now if I put that there, it should be 38 or 39%. Alright, 39%, which is good enough. Alright. Now with these, what I used to do is I used to just glitch all 4 onto the same point. But because of that thing that I mentioned earlier, sometimes your silos will look weird. They just won't fill up sometimes and stuff like that. What I'm actually gonna do is I'm gonna stagger these. I'm gonna do 4 different wires. So I'm gonna have one that's down here. And delete that middle one. And that's here. I just do this to keep things kind of in line. So I'm going to be able to put 4 extractors there. So I'll get those out. And just glitch one on each of those wires. That way they all have the same, they'll all produce the same amount. And some of those went in the opposite way, which is what I was afraid of. Alright, this one in the middle is different. It won't matter though. If I had been paying attention I would have caught that, but so I'll put in my pipe. And it will work even though it goes through the center of that, it'll still work fine. And I will put in my electric. Like if I was being really fussy about it, I would flip all of these around. Because typically I like to have my pipe come out the front. And I'd put my wire on the back so people can't see it. But it'll be good enough. So that will give me 1,000 nitrogen. So all I need to do is add in 7 silos and I'll be done. Yeah, and it doesn't tell you how much per hour. That won't happen until you actually run power to it. What I like to do though, I like to, can't really show it from down here. I like to tie all my electric into one big area. So, actually that's something I have to do a calculation on how much power I'm going to use. So right now, that's going to be 200k for power, another 50 for that other extractor. My building, yeah, building is going to be 10, and then I'm going to have 15 biodomes. Those are 50 apiece, so I better grab anything here. So I got 50 times 15. Alright, plus 250, that's going to give me 1,000. Plus 10 for the building. And probably with corridors, I think corridors are only 1. Okay, those are only 1. Okay, so if I go with like about 1200-ish on power, I should have plenty, because that will include my teleporter. If I decide to put any type of decoration or whatever in, it should give me plenty. I'd like to always go, a couple hundred over. I don't like to go directly on exactly what I want, so if I figure about 1200, I should be fine. So I will head over and get my electrical figured out. And a lot of times, if I'm doing like a decorative base, I will use my electrical generators for kind of like a fancy, little showpiece type of thing. But on this, I'm not going to bother because it's a farm, so I'll probably just stack a bunch of them right on top of each other and call it a day. But I do want to do the same thing so that I can get my maximum value out of it. Looks like I'm stuck right at 48, 49. Alright. I'll do the same type of thing here. Let's see what I get. Yeah, I'm right at 49. Didn't take much to line that one up. Alright. So, how many of these? Oh, I can make 96 of these, so plenty. Alright, now this is going to pull out 148, not typical. So, all I do is go quick calculation, 1200 divided by 148. That's going to tell me I need 8.1, so I'm just going to build 8 of those. So that'll give me enough power. I'm just going to delete that out of there. Now with these, I'd like to put on I like to put these on a block. If I can remember where they are. This menu. Now this is just how I like to kind of do them. And I'm just doing this so that I can lower my glitch point. So I can just delete that too. Alright. And give that a little bit of color. And with the electrical ones, I do just stack them all on top of each other. No real reason, it's just quicker. So I'm just gonna actually let me move that out of the way. Alright. Go in here again. I'm just gonna change my color. I like to go like the light blue on these. And then I'll just put in 8 of these. Alright. It seems like the render's taking longer to take when you glitch them in. And if you don't know how to glitch or anything, as long as you get your first one in there, then kind of line up your second one. What I tend to do is it's hard to explain it, but right in the middle of my screen, there's a little tiny white dot. What I do is I just kind of line it up on what's right under me. Just try to make it so it looks kind of straight, and just place it and do the same thing. It never looks perfect, so you know, just kind of do something like that, and you'll still get a good number. And the same thing with your extractors and stuff. If you're not sure about the glitch building part, you can totally do this without glitch building. This is probably the one actual glitch thing I'm gonna end up doing. So, and this is just the basic wire glitch. But now that those are there, what I always like to do is I will put down a battery and run power over to it, just so that I can look to see how much power I'm actually generating. Okay, 1,184. Like I said earlier, I was looking to get about 1,200. This will be plenty. If I was in doubt, I would put down another generator, but I know I'm gonna have more than enough power there, so it'll be fine. So I'll just take that battery out and head back up here, and actually I'll run power to it in a minute. Actually, get up there. The good thing about these hot planets is they give you a little boost to your jetpack. It's always nice. Now I never build on I never build directly on the ground. I always come up a couple short walls, just to prevent it from, overgrowing in your base. Come on, like this. I try to get things somewhat straight, so I'll just start off with that. Now I'm gonna end up using a prefab, which is something I never use except for like projects like this, because I think they're ugly as hell. So what I'm gonna do is kind of line up where I want my building to be, because yeah, even though there's that little gap there, I do want to move that back a little more though. End up doing something kind of like that. And what I want to actually do is I want to peek inside. I just want to make sure no grass is coming through it or anything. So, alright. Now that I know where I want my building to be, what I'll do is I'll put down one of these frames. And actually I'll put down 2 of them just in case I end up losing one by chance. Then I'll delete that. And I can get rid of that floor as well. Alright. Now that I know where I want my building, I'll end up putting it back. If I can find it. I'm not used to this menu at all. Alright. Yeah, I've been playing version 1.0 of the game, and I totally forgot how menus work. So, let's see here. I'll just temporarily put in a door. What I'm trying to figure out is, before I get too carried away, is I want to make sure, like, because I'm pretty sure I have to come out with 2 of these before I do my biodomes. This tree is going to be an issue. Well, it won't be an issue, actually, it won't be an issue while I build or anything, but it might end up showing up through the biodomes. Take a quick peek here, because I might end up digging into the ground here also. So this is just me planning ahead. Okay, so that will dig into the ground. You can still use it, but what I am gonna do, I didn't really want to do this, but I am gonna have to move this out a little bit. And I'll probably have to move it down too, so I'm gonna use these little things to my advantage. Actually, I'm probably gonna have to move it down anyway. Go get my building back again. Alright. Yeah, I'm trying not to dig into the ground with this thing. But I don't know if I can do this without doing that. Okay, I would have to come out 1 more. Yeah, I've never built it like this, so this is just me kind of experimenting a little bit. Yeah, and I think that would work all right. Because you don't have to go out this back door for anything, so now I just want to check my spacing again. Okay, you can have your biodome dig into the ground like that, it's just I don't like how it looks, so I'm trying something else. Ooh, that still digs in. Digs in more than I thought it would. Alright. Let me come out 1 more.
Weather warning. Incoming storm.
Well, it does still kind of clip it a little bit, but I think that'll work. That's just one of those things that it's all just trial and error, whatever you like. See, I didn't really want like a big gap here, but I think it'll be fine. Because you're not going to come out of the back of this anyway, so it's not a huge deal. I just forgot that the biodomes build out further, a little bit further than I had planned. Actually, what I'm going to do real quick is toss in a door on this side anyway. I need to jump out for a few minutes here. Looks like the pup's got to go out, so I'll jump in here, and while I'm in here, I'm going to toss down a save thing. Alright, and I will be back. Probably give me like 5 minutes. But I've run him out, so I will be back. Actually, I'll go into camera mode, so just give you guys something to look at. Alright guys, I'm back. Let's see here. Before I get too carried away, I am gonna put actually I'll put my door on now. I like to use the hollow doors. And now's a good chance to pick your color too. There's really nothing good to pick here, so I'm just gonna go with like a rusted look, because it's a stormy planet, so like a rust. And I think I'm gonna hold off on my landing pad. Actually, that's something I want to check right now before I forget. I'm gonna temporarily put my landing pad in. Now with these, if you come out one, then you put that. I don't know if my biodome's gonna crash into my landing pad or not. I think it is. Yeah, it crashes into it. See, that's what I want to avoid doing that. It won't hurt anything, it just looks like crap, so. Alright, so. I'm gonna want to go 2 of these out. I'm gonna make it rust as well. I want to come out 2. Come out 2. Now, in order to get your... Because what I do is I stack my biodomes one on top of each other. So all you have to do is get a basic door. Snap it on there. That. Then just copy these back. And just keep them out of the way. Just remember not to delete them. One thing you can actually do is you can put a, I think you can just use a basic wall actually. Yeah, you can just put a basic wall there if you want. Also. You know, I just do this for backup, just in case I delete something I don't mean to. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to get my biodomes in place. So I go with, you know, come out 2, and you got one of these, and you come out 2, and another one of these. So what you're going to have is, you're going to have 4 biodomes on the bottom and 4 on the top. And I believe that's the right spacing on these. Adjusted. Yep. Yeah, that way they do overlap a tiny bit, but not enough to make them look bad. Alright, so that'll be those. And what I'll do is I'll plant all 4 of those, and then I'll do a second row up here with the same thing. You know, I'll just delete those because I don't need them. So my biodomes will end up looking like that when they're all done. And then I can just come in and delete those. But I plant the bottom and then I plant the top. You can just leave them like this and go ahead and plant. It's just I find it easier to just deal with the bottom row and then do the top row. But that's just my personal preference. I'll do the same thing on this other side. That way I can just get them all kind of lined up. So, got 1 there. 2 of these. You can also just use these things too. Just go, you know, 1, 2, and put in your last one. But I just prefer to do it like that the first time. So, be 4 biodomes there. There's going to be 15 total. So I'll have 8 on this side and 7 on that side. But I leave these here just in, you know, until the end. You know, at least leave that wall there. Alright. So I don't really need this landing pad here anymore, so I'm just going to get rid of that. What I do like to do is I like to terminate, you know, make sure I have my power hooked up to these. Alright. Do a save. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to run down to my power supply and get power up here. What I'd like to do is go down to this bottom one, and if you know how to glitch, you're gonna be fine. But I'd like to get my power line down here. Then I'll just connect it up to one of these. And then hopefully you can find the other end of your wire. I don't know why they're making wire so hard to find now, but there's my wire. So just leave photo mode, or build mode. Make my way over to my power supply. It's already buried in the ground a little bit, so you can run pretty far away before you have to put down another wire. I just try to stay somewhat inconspicuous. I'm gonna end up using a wire hider anyway, but I just try not to have wires way up in the middle of the air or anything. I'm probably gonna have to put down another wire here. I don't think I can make it. Might be too long though. Oh, alright. I will put one here though, just so it's not way up in the air. Just connect it right in. Now blue line is good. That means you get plenty of power. Now I have a place to run my wires, or run my electricity. I typically try to put a single junction where all my power can come into, you know, right at the base. So I won't have to really worry about it with the paraffinium because it's really close. So all I'm going to do is just tap off one of these biodomes, run power over to it. That way at least that'll start to produce. I didn't mean to clip through there, but it worked out. And alright. I'm gonna do something here. I'm just doing this to easily get back in. Because I want to get rid of that door that's on the other side. Just I want to make rust again. That way I at least have something to stand on out there. Now a lot of times what I'll do is I'll bury my silos in the ground, you know, I'm just underneath this thing a little bit, but I'm not going to bother on this one. You can also resize them a little bit, which I actually might do. I just don't like having it stick out the middle, so, or stick out of the top of the building, so I'm just going to make my silos a little bit smaller than normal. So, stick one there. Alright, and that's pretty much almost perfect. Just grab this. Stick it in this corner. And what I'm trying to do is not clip outside the building if I can help it. I think it might a little bit. Oh, maybe not. But I do want to interact with it because I want to see how this thing is gonna... Okay. I wanted to make sure it wasn't gonna kick me outside of the building when I did that. So now that thing's lined up. Actually, I am gonna make it a little bit smaller. It does kind of clip the ceiling there a little. So. See, a lot of it's just experimenting with stuff. Figuring out how you want things to look. Oh. Try that again. Yeah, and you can totally do this without glitch building or anything. You can't make it smaller, but this definitely isn't like a required thing or anything. Pull this forward until I find the spot I like. Like what I'm looking at is on the ground of this, there's what I'm looking for is this line, this, you know, right where that square goes from solid to having little stripes on it. Just kind of trying to line it up with that. You know, that way I can get a similar placement over here. And also trying to keep that middle line. Yeah, in the middle. So I'll go toss it there. What I'm going to do is I'm going to make one of these paraffinium. So I'll go with purple. Make this one kind of like a yellowish color for nitrogen. Alright. And see how these, alright. See, like this one flipped me around. This is what I'm trying to avoid, is that view. I'll just test it again. Okay, it's going to do it again. So what I want to do is actually pick this one up and turn it 180 degrees. And put it back down. Now it should whip me around. See, it sends me outside like that instead of flipping me all the way around. Well, that one's doing that too. I thought they had changed this, but I guess they didn't. Yeah, it's still flipping me around. Why is it doing that? I wonder if the game gets confused with this or something. No, it shouldn't flip me around this time. And it's doing it anyway. That's just an annoyance. I wonder if I have to try only doing it 90 degrees. Alright, there we go. Yeah, I wonder when I did that resize thing if that threw the direction off. I don't know. Sometimes this game makes no sense, so... So, now that my paraffinium's already got power, I'm just going to run the pipe right to it. And I'm going to use the little camera glitch thing here to get more length out of that. So I can go down a little bit further than I normally would. Hook that in. Now paraffinium should be all set. And keep in mind you only need 800 paraffinium, so you have a little bit extra here that you can hold on to and use for other stuff. I'll do a quick save here. Now nitrogen's going to be a different story though. see, my silo, or my hotspot is 240, so what I tend to do is when I get about 100 U away from my base, I'll dig a hole, and I'll put 6 silos in there, because I need 8,000 total. So when I get... You can only stretch your pipe about 200 units, and then you have to terminate it. So what I do is I get, you know, about 100 units away is where I like to do this. And I typically try to go for level ground, but I don't have any here, so this is going to have to work. What I'd like to do is use this building part, just because it's easy for me to see and it sticks out from everything else, you know. But I use that when I mark where I'm going to dig a hole. So all I'm going to do is dig a hole down here, get down pretty deep. And I don't always use a floor here, but I will in this instance, just to make it a little bit easier. Put down a floor over here. Yeah. Didn't really dig it out much, did it? Oh, it's because I'm going into bedrock. Do it on this side. I just accidentally lost a floor in there because of that bedrock. But I'll do something like this, and then what I'll do is I'll put in, let's see, I need 8,000, so I need 6 silos. So I'll just put 6 silos down. Like, if you need more silos, you can always build this out a little bit more. Which I might just do it, it'll give me more room down here. So I'm just going to put down 6 more silos. And this doesn't have to be fancy or anything, just nobody's ever going to see this. So all I do is just put down 6. Something like that. What I'll do is I'll put down the first 3 and then run pipe, that way I know for sure they're connected. I'll just put down the other 3. And again, it doesn't have to be anything fancy. Something like that. I just want to make sure they're all connected. Alright. Now that I'm down here already, what I'll do is I'll connect to one of these. And then I'll go out of build cam. That brings me right to the top. Then I'll just run my pipe right over. Yeah, and keep in mind you can only bring your pipe, you can only go 200 units with your pipe, so you might have to stop a couple times. Oh, now it's saying I'm too close. Alright, so there's pipe there. And while I'm over here, I'm going to switch over to my wire. And do the same thing with my wire. Let's go right to it. See, I like to have my pipe and my wire right in the same hole. That way, if I have to get back to them, I can. Just an easy way to... And I can see that building piece is there. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to put my wire down here, connect to it again, and then I'm just going to use my build cam to hook into power. Typically I would try to get to a biodome, but I know that there's a wire underneath this building somewhere, so I'm going to try to find that instead. Oops. Run this back up. See if I can hook into that other wire. Yeah, they've done something weird with how wires appear, so there's definitely a wire under there, but there we go. So I'm gonna connect right into there. So before I delete anything, I am gonna want to just check to make sure everything's filling up here. So this should read 8,000. See, there's something's off. And the reason something's off is I never ran pipe here. So what I'm gonna do is grab my pipe. See, like if I had gone back down there and filled this in and everything, then I would have to dig it all up. I'd have to find where I put all those silos and stuff. So that's why I always like double check everything before I fill in anything. Like a lot of times I'll actually leave all these holes and everything until the very end. And then I'll come in and delete like my extra floors and stuff. Because I'm going to want to delete those floors. Mainly to get my base piece count down. So there we go, 8,000. And it'll take 8 hours to fill. So I have plenty of time for that to fill up. And with this other one, that was only a couple hours. So your minerals always fill up in a little bit of time. The gases take a little bit of, take some extra time. But I mean, you got 16 hours until you can craft it anyway, so I mean, you can get by with only a couple extractors if you want. I choose to go with 4 of them so that it gives you an even 1,000 just on the extractors. But I almost getting ready for plants. Oh, there is something I do want to check though. And this could be a really, really, really bad idea, but I want to see where this teleporter is going to teleport me into. I think I need 6 of these. Yeah, I keep getting thrown to the outside, or I keep getting thrown under my buildings when I teleport in. So I want to see what's going to happen with this thing. Because I always put a teleporter in the middle of them. I'll just make that rust as well. Alright. I'm going to do a save here. I'm going to head back to up to my freighter and then warp back in. Actually, I'll go to the space station and warp back in. I hope I don't end up getting hurt doing this. If for some reason the stream ends abruptly, and that's because I force closing my game, so I'm just gonna go right to the space station, because this might send me down into the terrain or make it so I'm stuck in one of those building frames too. So this should be where I was. Let's see what happens. Okay, so it teleported me in like normal. Alright, so I should be all set. So I'm gonna hop out for a few minutes. I gotta do my medications and stuff. And I'll come back and we'll get all these plants put into place. Yeah, I just realized I'm late taking my pills. Just give me probably like 5 minutes and we'll be back. Alright guys, welcome back. I think it's time to start putting down some plants here. So I think what I'm gonna do, actually clear this up before I get carried away. And yeah, should be all set. I'm gonna bring in my other ship that had all my plants in it. See that one there. That'll be that one. Alright. I do all my planting from right in here so I'm safe. Save. Now, I'm gonna need, so this is gonna be circuit board. I'm gonna need 32 frost crystal, 64 selenium, 16 cactus flesh, and 128 star bulb. What I tend to do is I'll start off with the star bulb because it's the most. And I'll plant all the star bulb on one side, and then when those biodomes are full, then I'll switch down to the next smallest one, which would be the selenium. Well, we'll see what I have left over, actually. I'd like to plant, you know, the biggest one on one side of the structure. It doesn't matter, really. It's just the way I keep track of things. It makes it easier for me. So I'm going to start with Star Bramble. And all I'm going to do is plant all 16 of them. I like to do it from the outside, but some people like to do it on the inside. Doesn't matter as long as you get them all. Now if you look at my count, I could only plant 100 and... oh, that friggin' ship's gonna be on the way. I wish we could dismiss ships. I'm gonna have to switch that back. Can I put that thing somewhere else? Why is my ship over here anyway? Oh, it's because I warped out. That's why. So I'm just gonna move this thing out of the way. I forgot that I warped back in. Alright. We'll head all the way back up there again. Yeah, not take woo. Little jerk. Surprised he didn't break anything. Alright, make sure I switch my ship around. And head right back inside. Yeah, like I was saying, I could only plant 128 of these, and that's by design, so that I don't accidentally overplant. So, all I'm going to do is just continue. You can put 16 in a biodome, so go and get all 16 done. And I always start at the door so I know that that one's already planted, because you can't see the planter from the outside, so I always start with that one, just work my way right around so I don't miss any. Because there are ways to make it so that you can put everything in only a couple biodomes, but you always run the risk of one of them not ticking when you harvest it. So I always do it like this. Like if I was doing this on normal mode, then I would use the stacked biodome technique, where you can put, you know, like 10 plants in each planter spot. I would do that in normal mode with Permadeath. It's just a lot of work for you know, a lot of work for what you get out of it. So I normally just do it like this, just faster. Because otherwise you have to run wires to all these planting spots, and then you still gotta glitch everything in. Alright, so those are done. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna now do the second level. So I'm just gonna copy what's under it. Make a whole nother row of this stuff. Then put in my second level. Just want to make sure that you're attaching to the top. I don't think it'll let you attach to the bottoms, but yeah, just toss all those back in. And then take out this top row, because you won't need this at all. And I leave this one here until the end, just in case for some reason something gets weird. Kind of like, I'm gonna flip this thing around. I wasn't paying attention. I'm gonna flip that around so it's facing like that. And now, because I moved that thing, I'm gonna lose a couple slots that were already planted. So I want to try to get in there and replant those. I think I lost them. I'll know when I get in here. Nope, there is something planted there. I just want to check them both just to make sure. Nope. I thought for sure I was going to lose a couple of those. But as you can see, I still have 65 that I have to plant. If I do the same thing, I just start where the door would be. Just work my way around. And if you're not sure if something plants, you watch the animation here. Right as it gets planted, you get that little burst thing. That lets you know it's actually planted. Sometimes it can be tricky, especially if you have a bunch of storm effects going on. Sometimes you're not sure if something's actually planted there or not. So I always look for that little burst of dirt. Work your way right around till you don't see any more of the green markers. Alright, so that one's done. And work my way right to the other one. And I always go all the way around it, just so I know I don't miss any. So I know some people like to plant, you know, do a couple going towards the right, then a couple towards the left. I just prefer to go work my way all the way around it. Alright, so that's those ones. That one's done. That one's done. Now just the two on the end to do. And I count them in my head while I'm doing them too. So that's 16 more over here. So those are all done. And then for some reason, let me check something here. For some reason, I have one extra plant. I missed a planting spot somewhere on one of these. It should be 128 total. One of these has a missing spot. But I'm not seeing it. How am I missing one of these? I'm pretty sure, what, 16 times 8 should be 128.
Weather update. Storm clearing.
Weird. Oh. Take a quick peek at these again. Mainly what I'm looking for is the green circle you get when you can plant something. That's mainly what I'm looking for. I'm also looking at the holders as well. Yeah, something got missed here. So, yeah, that's just weird. Just to make sure though, maybe I have an extra plant somewhere. So what I'm going to do is, because I have that one left over, I'm just going to plant it. I'm just going to do a little spot glitch here. Just stick it right here. So there might be one extra plant sometimes when you harvest it. And I'll do a quick save. Alright, so star bulb's done, so next is going to be selenium. And I should have verified the amounts beforehand. Okay, I probably have a couple, alright. Because right now I have, I only need 64 of these. So I don't know, I must have some selenium somewhere I shouldn't have. Because I only need 3,200 selenium. Okay, my freighter maybe? I bet that's what it is. Let's see here. I want to dismiss my freighter. Maybe that's what's causing that. Oh, it still says I have it up for 69. What the heck? Let me do a reload. Yeah, it's strange. I wonder if maybe my inventory is getting messed up with the other ship that I have in the system. Maybe. I thought maybe it had something to do with my freighter at first. Well, see what happens when I load in. Yeah, this is what I don't want. I don't want to be spawning out here like this. Alright, take a look at this now. Still 69, what the hell? What is going on here? Where is this extra selenium? That's probably where it's coming from. That's not going to make a difference, is it? Alright. So I think... I might have to move my freighter to a different system. Let me warp back over to here. I thought if I dismissed my freighter, it wouldn't let me pick stuff out of it. But it still shows up that I can access my storage here, which is weird. And normally I just dismiss my freighter and I don't have an issue. Yeah, I'm pretty sure if I move it here, I think I'll be fine. Yeah, and again, place me underneath my base. They gotta fix that. That's gonna... People are gonna start losing permadeath saves doing this. Especially if they end up falling. Alright. If I go back to that base... That should fix my numbers. Because normally you can't access your freighter inventory like that. That's a weird change. Normally your freighter has to be in the same system as you. Maybe it's just because it's stuck in the game's cache or something. Could be something like that. Now when I get over to this place, I shouldn't be able to access my storage. My freighter storage. Yeah, people are gonna start losing their saves if they don't fix this. Alright, so now it should read 64. There we go. And I can't see my storage containers, so That's what the deal is. Alright, so I think that I'm gonna leave that extra star bulb in there. Just in case something is weird with it. But move over to solar bind. 64 of these. So now I'm just going to do the same thing I did before. Start at the door. Work my way right around.
Weather warning. Incoming storm.
Setting this up on Permadeath isn't too bad. You can throw together all the bases pretty quickly. Especially these first couple. The Nixon base takes a little bit of time. That one's going to take me a while because I need to stretch all those boundaries. And plus I'm not sure what type of design I want to do for the base either. So, that one will take a little bit to set up. Alright, so I got 16 more over here. Yeah, when you're doing this on normal mode, you need so many more plants that it's worth going with that other biodome technique. I like this technique mainly because you can harvest them really quick, and you only have to harvest the bottom dome, because it'll, when you hit that bottom trigger, it'll harvest everything in both domes. Alright, so copy these over, copy that, and add 4 more domes, and delete the center row out. Alright, so now I'll move on to Frost Crystal, get that out of the way. And actually, did I just screw that up? I only need 15 of those. So, let's see, I think I only need 3 more biodomes. So, let's see. I need 32 of these. Now, it'll take 16 hours to make these circuit boards, but you'll end up with about 16 million units out of them. You can do it once a day. So I'd like to set this one up first, that way if I can't get the other bases done, I can at least harvest these tomorrow. Which is what I'm going to end up doing anyway, because I'm going to be jumping off soon. But I might get started on the other base, you know, just to stretch the boundaries a little bit, and get ready to build that one. Alright, and that's it for Frost Crystal. So now, what was it, Cactus Flush. Only gonna need 16 of those. I'll just put those right in that last biodome. Yeah, cactus takes so long to plant, to grow. That's kind of like the bottleneck for this farm. Alright, that'd be all of those. So the base is pretty much done right now. I just double check these and make sure everything looks good. Yeah, it's all looking good. What I'll do is I'll go out here and delete these little holders. And what I do like to do is put in a storage container. Let's see here. I do want to shrink it down though. Yeah, about like that. I like to use container 0 because most people have 0 unlocked early in the game, so that's the one I always go for. And actually, that. I can keep that. I could have gone a little bit smaller on that, but it's not a big deal. You know, just so people, if they don't have much inventory space, at least they can toss it in there. And then get rid of this stuff. And I'm just going kind of bare bones on this stuff, so I'm just going to toss in like a regular. I can just leave that. Well, I'll get rid of it. The regular, everyday, basic landing pad. And what I'd like to do is, where the little screen thing is, I'd like it to be in this upper corner. The upper right-hand corner, because when your ship lands and you exit on the left side of your ship. So I'm going to want people not to have to run around much. So I purposely put it in that configuration. Let me show you guys when I jump out. So that's all done. And it does kind of clip through a little tiny bit, but not very much. So now if I go grab my other ship I had, oh, it's not going to show up because I left this thing. But actually I can just call in this one. It'll work. Yeah, it'll face that. That way, when you exit your ship, you exit right in front of the door. You don't have to walk around your ship or anything. So that's the way I always do it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to head all the way back down here. And I like to pick up my beacons. Sometimes people leave them, but I like to pick them up because I can use them at a different location. And if I ever need to find out where my hotspots are, I just go scan for them. Typically, if you follow your pipe a little bit, you'll run into your hotspot. Even if it's buried, as long as you get a general direction of where it is. And down here. Now, when you start to delete these floors, the ground will start coming back in. So, just gotta kind of be prepared for it. I do want to see if... So I delete kind of what's kind of far away. You just want to make sure you don't delete pipes or wire or anything. I just go kind of slow. Now what I'll do is I'll get in this hole. And I'll delete these last 2 floors. Alright. delete that. Then just refill this hole. See, I'm not too worried about this one. But what I tend to do is, with stuff like that, if I know I have a bunch of silos or something underground, something that is kind of important, what I will do is I'll put down a plant that doesn't belong here. Just as like a little marker for myself. So I know that this alien plant shouldn't be here. So I'll end up putting one down there. And hopefully I'll see it and be like, hey, that's out of the ordinary, why is that there? So I'll know where I can dig that up. I'm gonna head back over to my electric. Go pick up that, beacon. I think I run into that plant just about every time, trying to avoid it. So I'm actually just gonna delete that wire. I won't ever have to add more power here. Oh, I'm finally starting to take some heat damage. I'm pretty sure I only take heat damage when there's a storm, so... Alright. I got one more over here. And I'm gonna delete the placement wire on this one too. There's really no need for me to have it. Get that thing to disappear. Alright, so that's done. All my markers are gone. I do want to put down a wire hider. That's typically the last thing I do. Sometimes I'll bury it in the ground, but a lot of times I just stick it in a kind of inconspicuous area. A lot of times I put it under my landing pad or... there they are. I'll just get kind of low to this thing. It kind of sticks up a little bit. Stick one down there. Alright. And what I've been doing is moving my base computers over here. That way I know where they are. You know, over by the door somewhere. Alright. When I name these, I just want to do something descriptive. My stasis ones I always name like this. Stasis 1, 3, and then whatever the farm is for. So this one's going to be for circuit board. And then the quantity. That's all I do. And quick screenshot here, even though I probably won't take it. Upload base, and I always check to make sure Discovery Services is working. Might as well rename this guy. Stanley. Yeah. Well, that's all there is. You'll just harvest the biodomes on each side. It'll give you enough for 16 circuit boards, and just check here for circuit board money. 916 a piece, so you get around, you know, between 850 and 9. You get, you know, about 15-16 million a day just from coming here for 5 minutes and making up some circuit boards. Not even 5 minutes. I did use up quite a bit of pure ferrite. Not as much as I thought I was going to. Hardly used up any dust. Okay. So I'll grab some more pure ferrite before I do the next base. But, I think I'm just going to go back to my mold farm. Back over here, switch my ships, and probably jump out. I got some stuff to do tonight, so it'll be kind of a shorter stream. I think tomorrow, if I can get on a little bit earlier, actually I'm gonna switch my ship and then I'm gonna warp to, I kind of did it backwards. I think I'm just gonna warp to that second planet, and I'm not gonna bother stretching my boundaries or anything. I just want to be over there. Switch my ship first, though. That way I can just load right into that planet. And actually, when I'm over there, when I first get there, I can go pick up those other 2 markers I'm not going to need. Because I don't need cobalt and oxygen over there. But I do want to swing in here and grab some of this ferrite. Have a little bit extra on me, be nice. Alright. So you can actually just warp right back to where I was. Yeah, I figured might as well just, when I launch, at least I'll already be on the planet I need. So go pick up the oxygen. Oxygen and cobalt markers, that way they're not confusing me. I'll have what, sulfurine and phosphorus over at this base. This is where I'll do my living glass farm. Let's see, I don't like how it does that. I really don't like that. I'm gonna move these out. I can see people getting stuck like inside of these cubes. They've got to fix this. Do something like that for now. You make Zendesk reports and it's like they don't even read the stuff. Alright, fill this in a little bit more. Alright. I lose my permadeath save because of their sloppiness. I'm not gonna be happy. I'll just have to start another permadeath save, I guess. Alright, so I'm gonna head over to that desert planet. say, I don't think I put down a base there. Base computer. That must be that other planet, the frozen planet. I was gonna say, I don't think I measured out anything. Right at that minor settlement I was at. Okay, yeah, now they're popping out. Actually, I'm gonna fly right to that oxygen one. I'll use up the extra fuel. That thing was far away. Oh, it's not too far away. Oh yeah, it is. It's right next to this. Yeah, the minor settlement's right next to this. Yeah, okay, this would have been a really long stretch. This was like another 900 unit stretch. I don't know if I ever got nanites over here. Quick peek. Oh, I don't think I did any of this. Nope. Just leaving nanites on the ground. Might as well grab. Oh, I didn't think that was that far away. Oh, of course. Now I'm seeing two different damaged machinery. Now I gotta go pick them both up. Because I still got a bunch of decorations and stuff to get, so I'm gonna farm some of these up while you can. I'm not gonna bother with that other one though. I'm not gonna bother with the building either. This should be cobalt. Yeah, it's an S class too. This is verify it is cobalt before I delete the thing. Yep. S-class cobalt. Delete. Alright. How far away are these? 260. I don't see that other one. Alright. Well, I actually could just set up right here if I wanted to. Oh yeah, this is yellow also. I'll probably go by that damaged machine, right? There should be a minor settlement right here too. There is one very close. Of course I can't see it. What the heck? Where's that sulfurine? Yeah, there should be... Maybe it wasn't a minor settlement. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, there's the minor settlement right there. Alright. I say, I know I'm not going crazy. Park this thing over there, and I'm gonna call it. I got up way too early this morning. Now I'm just dragging ass. Alright. Well, I appreciate everybody tuning in, and I'll get this second farm done probably tomorrow afternoon or evening. Then I'm gonna, over the weekend, probably work on the third base. That one I'll probably stream some of it. There's really nothing there's not a lot of like plants or anything to do. So I wanted to show people how I do the circuit board and living glass farms, which tie directly into the Stasis device farm. So that's why I'm trying to do those. The last base will take a little bit more work to do because you have to have a certain amount of oxygen and carbon and cobalt. So I just have to kind of work out the logistics of how I want to do that, because it's a process. Because you have to make condensed carbon and ionized cobalt. I know how to make it, but I want to, because you have to do it in multiple steps. I just don't want to confuse people. So I just want to get it laid out and then show people how the whole farm works if they decide to build one or to use this one. So I'll just gotta figure out how to lay everything out. So but I'm gonna jump on out here. Thanks everybody for swinging in, and I will see you next time. I appreciate you guys stopping by. All right, have a good one.